YouTube, GlockNinja here. Welcome to another video. Today, I want to talk about a game. And I'm going to talk about it a long time because I haven't really scripted anything, so I probably blah and make no sense at times. But this is a game that I really like and I really want to talk about. And if you get tired of listening to me, go ahead and stop watching. But I got to make this video. I love this game. Now, if you go watch a professional review of this game, it's a hit and miss. Some critics say it's okay, it's pretty decent, and a lot of critics will give it a lot of criticism about the depth of the game and the gameplay and all that. So you can draw your own conclusions by watching various different reviews. But in my opinion, I love this game. And I'm going to tell you why I love this game. It goes way back to my childhood. Okay, I was a huge Star Trek fan. I wasn't really a Trekkie or a Trekker because I really couldn't afford to be a Trekkie or a Trekker. You know, like those guys or those kids that got all the toys that they wanted. You know, they got all the Star Trek figures, the Star Trek phaser gun and the communicator, and they even had little models of the ships that their parents bought them and all this and that. And they even grew up and made their own money and bought these things. And it was a huge culture, okay, that formed from this one television show called Star Trek, okay? I wanted to do all that, but I couldn't do it. You know, when I was a kid, there was no such thing for me. But I had a lot of imagination. And I used to pretend that I was a crew member of the Starship Enterprise. And I used to pretend that I was Captain Kirk. And I used to pretend that I was in a scenario where I had to fight my way out of Klingon space. And, you know, imagination is a lot of fun when your heart's into something, you know. And believe it or not, when I was a kid, I invented this. I really did. I really foresaw into the future that there was going to be a game like this. Or I wish that somebody would make a game like this. That you were placed in a virtual reality world where you had control of a console or a command chair or engineering position where you were able to take orders from another player and you interacted with each other and you took the ship out into space in a simulator and completed missions. Yes, I was no more than maybe 10, 11 years old. And I literally invented this game in my mind. Okay? Now, as you get older, you lose interest. There's a saying. As a child, you do childish things, and as you grow up, you put childish things away. Well, I kind of paraphrased that. I screwed it up, but you know what I mean. So as you grow older, you kind of lose interest. And I, when this game came out, I was like, wow. If this game had come out when I was a kid, I would have been like in seventh heaven. Really. Seriously. I was I was yeah, I was excited when it did come out. I wanted it. I wanted to get it. But I put it off. I don't know why. I guess as an adult, life happens and you have other things and other responsibilities. And when this came out, I wanted to get it, but I didn't get it. I don't know why. And I finally got it. And I couldn't pass it up. I mean, I was at Walmart and I saw it for $11. How can you pass that up? Okay. So I bought it. I ran home with it. I stuck it in, loaded it up, put the VR on, and it was everything I expected it to be. Now, I'm not a huge next generation fan because that was not my generation. My generation was the old Star Trek with Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock and Dr. McCoy. Okay? So I did not have the interest in getting the add-on or the expansion pack for the next generation for this game, which allows you to play inside of the next gen Enterprise 1701D. Okay, where Captain Picard was the captain. Um, but I played this. I talked. I think I talked Rogue Inquisitor into getting this game. He went and got it, and he actually is the generation fan. So he went and got the next gen download, and he was telling me about how he liked the next gen better. So the least I could do, because he went and bought this game on my recommendation, and he played with me. The least I could do is take his recommendation and go purchase the next gen uh, add-on for this game. So I ran to Walmart, got a PSN card, load the PSN card up, and purchased the add-on for this, and I got the next generation add-on for this game. Talking about this game, it is hella fun. The campaign mode, you can play single player. If you play the single player, you're the captain of the ship, and you have to pretty much operate everything on the bridge: helms, weapons, which they call tactical, engineering, um, and also your own little area where you control communication and all that. So you have to multitask, but it's not that hard. You catch on pretty quick. Um, it's not a hard game to figure out, and you do need to get practiced, and you do need to, when you do finally engage in multiplayer with other players, you do need to get a lot of practice in to be smooth at all the controls and all the positions that you take over. Um, like helms, uh, tactical, engineering. When the captain is playing with the full crew, which is three other players, the captain really has very little to do other than give out orders. Okay, the captain will tell the helmsman where to go, when to engage, warp drive, where to turn, where to go, and all that. And of course, the captain will tell the weapons a tactical person when to fire weapons, which weapons to fire, uh, when to power up the weapons, and where to target and all that. And then, of course, the captain will tell the engineer where to make the repairs, what powers that need priority, engines or weapons or sensors and things like that. So the captain is in charge of giving out orders to all these different stations. But if you have a crew that knows what they're doing and they play this game a lot, they pretty much know what they're supposed to do without being told what to do. A lot of people want to play it that way, but I am a realist. A realist means I like to play the game realistically. So I tell people when I'm working Helm, even though I know what the next step is or what to do next, I wait for orders from the captain. If the captain, I know my next course or heading that need to go, but I wait for the captain to tell me, go ahead and set course to such and such system, and then I'll set the heading and the course and everything, and then I'll line the vector up to warp into that vector, and I'll just wait until the captain tells me to engage warp drive. Um, Before you can engage warp drive, the captain has to tell engineer to charge up the warp coils, and then Helm has the ability to thrust forward to send the ship into warp vector and go to the next warp area. So things like that. It's really fun. I mean, you are literally operating a starship. You watch the movies, you watch the television shows, and you see them play acting, pushing buttons and stuff. You know that they are. They're not really doing anything but just play acting, push buttons. They make it look real, but they're not doing anything. But in this game, you are doing things. You are literally making course changes. You are actually firing weapons. You're actually sending repair crews to different areas of the ship to fix. Um, there are three ships that you can operate: the old 1701, the original Star Trek Enterprise, which is the controls are laid out just like the ship, the old television show ship. It's got ruby buttons everywhere, and you can push a button where it'll it'll show you the labels will pop up to tell you which buttons do what. Okay, and then you have the Aegis class, which is somewhere in between the 1701 and the 1701D. It's right in the middle, and that ship is pretty modern, and the controls for that is all different. And of course, the 1701 controls are all different. But all these control layouts are different, but they all do the basically all three ships kind of do the same thing. You know, you have helms, you have weapons, you have engineering. You know, it all operates about the same way, but all different control layouts. And they're in all three fun. All three ships are fun to learn, fun to operate, and when you're playing with decent people, oh, it's hella fun. It is. You can role play and take it seriously, and you could actually say yes, sir, I, sir, I, captain, waiting for your. You know, if you want to play it that way, you can. And I have played with people like that, and I've played with people who just goof around and say whatever and joke and talk about other things while we're playing. Um, there is one thing though. When I play, I like to role play. I like to take it serious. I like to pretend I am a helmsman or a tactician or engineer or the captain. I don't like to stray too far away from the script. So that's the way I like to play. But a lot of the times you'll get people who are a little immature. They'll goof around and this and that, and that's fine as long as everybody's having fun, right? But one thing I am a little disappointed is, when you're in the briefing room and when you're on the bridge playing the game, it was kind of disheartening to find out how many people smoke pot and do drugs and drink while they're playing. I know they're home and they're relaxing and they're playing, but there's no need for you to tell me you're high or you're drunk or long as you're doing your job and you're having fun, allow other people in the game to have fun, you know. But then there's times when I've been on a crew, when I was part of a crew where everybody was talking about how high they were, this and that, and laughing and giggling and this and that, but you have a choice. If you don't like that group, you could pop out, join another group. Okay, so you know unfortunately, if you have, my only thing is because of that reason, if there's a kid that show up and he sounds like a little kid, I normally would pop out, join another group, or kick the kid out, because I really don't want to play with kids where there's people cursing, people saying that they're smoking pot, this and that. That's, who wants to, but this game right here. Now, my only complaint about the campaign mode is that you're unable to give voice commands. This game would be like number 10 perfect if you're able to give your crew members, your AI crew, artificial intelligence crew, when you're playing by yourself as captain, if you're able to give voice commands like helmsman, set vector, set next warp course, whatever, and the helmsman does it, instead of you having to sit at your console and pop up the menu and give out orders pushing the buttons, you can give the order out by giving voice commands. Now that was incorporated into this game, it would be number 10. What would make number 10 plus plus for this game would be if they incorporated multiplayer, as in more ships, more a selection of starships, and also the ability to play Klingon and Romulan. And if they had, what they should have done was to be able to play team versus team. In other words, if I had a crew of Starfleet crew on a ship, I should be able to take on a fight against, let's say, a Romulan or a Klingon vessel with another group of players on that ship. In other words, player versus players. Now that would kind of turn the game into like a space battle thing, but it is what it is. I mean, it does take a lot of skill, a lot of teamwork to be able to keep a ship alive. There's a lot of tough enemies, even though they are only artificial intelligent enemies. They are pretty tough, especially those Borgs. Those Borgs are no joke. You can shoot them initially, disable them, but they only disabled for about a minute or two. And before they can regroup and come at you again, you have to get the hell out of there if you don't know what you're doing. Because if you don't, the Borg ship will destroy you, or they will infest your ship, and you lose control of your ship, and then you're screwed. Um, but I've heard some of the players brag about having beaten the Borg. I would love to be a part of that crew one day to be able to beat a Borg ship. But yeah, not a perfect game, but perfect in the sense that it is everything a person who wants to be part of a starship and work as a team, perfect for that. If you ever dreamed about being part of a Star Trek starship crew, this is the game you must have. Star Trek. Oh my God, Bridge Crew. Can't believe I forgot the name of the game. I'm telling you, I am possibly having Alzheimer's. But yes. Now, this is not to confuse with the older game, which I believe they called Star Trek Bridge Command or something like that. Um, that I don't know how that game plays, but I thought that game plays like this, but I don't think so. This is the game that to me, they did right. This is a full on simulation of being in a starship. And I must mention that if you don't have a VR, you can still play this game on the regular TV with the Dual Shocks. You do not need the Move controller. So there is no excuse for you guys who don't have the VR. You can still go get this game. Even though on the game it says PlayStation VR, they fixed it so that you can actually play this on a regular TV with Dual Shocks. So please, I beg you, if you are my PlayStation fan and you're interested in this game, go get it. If you are a huge Star Trek fan, you must have it. There is no way you should not have this game. You don't have the VR, that's fine. The experience to me is not as good because you can't look around, you can't turn your head and look around the whole bridge and this and that. But if you have the DualShock controller and a regular large screen TV, you can still see your controls. You can still use your joystick to look around and still do all the things that you need to do. In actuality, I think um, Rogue Inquisitor told me that he preferred, I think, to play with the Dual Shocks. He thought it was a lot easier and faster. Um, Well, that's him. In my opinion, I find it very much easier to use the Move controllers. But anyway, do me a favor. If you are not my PSN fan and you are watching this video and you have this game, please add me to your friends list. GlockNinja is my screen name in the game. Um, Add me to your PSN friends list, and whenever you see me online, invite me. I will play with you. I will play with anybody who watching this video, and I especially want anybody who is a Star Trek fan who watches my videos and I watch theirs, who interact with me on YouTube to get this game. I like it. All right. Oh, and by the way, um, if you want to see a gameplay of it, of course, there's plenty of it online. But further down in the further down on the page, my page, you'll see a gameplay of a video that I did when I was kind of learning how to do the game. So I'm not as fluent as I am right now. So, but if you want to see the actual gameplay, you'll see me doing. I think I was a helmsman in that game. So you'll only see me sitting at my station doing what I'm supposed to do. And I think once or twice I look around and show you the whole bridge. But the best perspective when you're making a video, a capture video, is when you're sitting in the captain's chair, because you get to see the whole bridge, the entire gameplay. You look around and you're giving out orders and stuff. Oh man, it's a lot of fun. You gotta get it. It's so real to the actual movie uh, inner workings of Star Trek, because everything is just dead on, like phasers, torpedoes, shields, disruptors, sensors. Even navigating the ship and steering the ship, a lot of fun. Shooting the weapons, a lot of fun. Even making repairs in engineering, a lot of fun. Some of it, but yeah. And being the captain, if you, my opinion, if you have a new crew that really don't know what they're doing, it's important to have a good captain, because the captain can tell everybody, how to do certain things and help people through. I've been fortunate to play with some very patient people who walked me through, some very mature people who took their time to teach me, show me, tell me, give me advice and everything. Then some, you always have some people you play with, and they act like buttholes. They lose their patience, they rage quit on you, and they call you they make fun of you or whatever. But I haven't had that many experiences like that. Most people I've played here on this game, most of them were mature. Most of them were pretty decent people. Okay, so please go check this game out. If you can go to Walmart and get it for $11, like I did, go get it. The patch for the next generation ship is like, I think, $9.99 or something like that. It's cheap, so even if you can't get it for $11, it's well worth whatever they ask for, in my opinion, if you're a Star Trek fan. So, all right, that's the long video I made of this one game, folks. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to get on this game with you guys. Hellhound, Infinite Retro, Rogue Inquisitor, Soul 7. If you can get this game, go look for it. There's so many YouTube friends. I'm sorry if I didn't mention your names. I can't mention everybody's name, but I know who you are that watches my videos. If you're not into it, don't be pressured into getting it. But if you're a Star Trek fan, you definitely have to get it. Go and get it. All right, you won't regret it. All right, guys, that'll be it. Talk to y'all later.